was putting off. I didn't want to deal with it. But before I turn the camera around, I just wanted to say I did something shocking. Shocking, shocking, shocking. You ready for it? Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Where's my sensor? Can you see it? Look what I did! Look what I did! It's blonde! It's blonde. I don't know how long I'm going to keep it blonde. It's only been blonde for 2 days, and I think I can start seeing little black roots. Little tiny black specks on the top of my head already. It's only been 2 days. My hair grows so dang fast. It's like a 5 o'clock shadow up there, you know? Anyway, I don't know how long I'll keep it. It's just, I wanted to try it for a little bit, and I'm heading up to Utah on Thursday. I'm gonna go see my family. I'm gonna go try to hike a mountain for my dad's 60th birthday. What would have been my dad's 60th birthday. He had his ashes spread up on Mount Olympus in Utah, and everybody went up there as a family to spread his ashes. And I tried to hike the mountain, but I was not able to. It was just way too steep and way too difficult, and I could not finish the hike. I was 17 years old, and I hated myself all these years for not finishing that hike. And me and Jim promised ourselves that we would do it this year, and even though I'm still scared I won't finish it, I'm very scared. Jim said that we can take as long as I need. I'm not going to go with my family, so I'm not going to feel pressured to keep up with people. My husband said he'll slow down for me if I need to take it slow or whatnot. Anyways, that's the plan. What do you think of my hair? Can you see it all right? It's very sunny, isn't it? Very sunny. I really liked your advice that you said about surrendering it really to the Lord. The Lord put your job in your lap, so all you can do is, do your best for Him and let Him take care of the rest. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because I was full of anxiety when I watched your video. Because of work. I had just gotten off of work, and I'm doing a new job. I don't know if I've said anything about my new job. I'm not getting paid anymore, but I should. And I'm not getting any real recognition, but I should. It really sucks. They just have me doing it because I volunteered like I shouldn't have. Well, whatever. My heart was in the right place, and I really hate I really hate the stress that comes with this, because it really stinks. But so just listening to you talk about your own work and how, it's all going unrecognized, and you were putting more effort in than you really needed to. Just do what you need to do for you, and just knowing that you did your best, right? I know. It just really helped me. I don't feel that stress anymore after watching your video, so thank you. And yeah, all the great things you said, I appreciate what you said about my words and our friendship, and I really love you. You're just awesome. You really always help me. You're just so sweet. So thank you. I love you, and I'm gonna let you go now because I'm starting to turn and I can't see the road, and I need to put down my visor. So I will talk to you later. Tell me what you think of my hair. Love you. Bye-bye.
Hi. You have no idea how much I smiled when I saw your face pop up on my Marco Polo. It was something that my heart needed, and I am so pleased to hear my crystal and to talk about the impact you're telling me I had on you. I could say that and then some about your impact on my life and the way I've admired all of the stick to it that you have with your stuff, and just, I know life is life, right? It's hard. Anyway, I'm going to preface with the fact that where I might be able to put a few things down on paper, you've got the verbal ability mastered in spades, and I do not. So if I stumble and am not very loud or projected or clear, just know that that's your strength and not mine. But so I do want to get back to you on this, and I might even take the path that I'd like to process some of this and maybe use my better communication skill, which is more written than spoken. Maybe not, but anyway. I loved your messages, both of them. I listened to both of them, and not surprised by either. Thrilled, and also I'm using a selfie stick, so I don't look like all Miss Gel 2020, which it's not been my best year. So I'm using this to get a better, angle. Instead of this, it's this. But every time I move, I kick my phone into Bixby mode, and it wants to do something other than Marco Polo, and I've probably corrected it 80 times in the last hour. So if it happens, it happens. But anyway, I want to secondly make the point that I miss with every ounce of my being living across the street from Crystal. Ain't got no crystals up here, and there can only be one Crystal. And you were it, and you were my Crystal. So I miss you, and we miss both of you. We miss the Wells family in so many ways. These sweetie kids that are undoubtedly pretty darn grown up at this point, and but we were grateful to have the view that we had for those years, to watch those little babies come up and blossom and learn and just develop and interact with us. We just appreciated it. In fact, we still have the Wells family, how you Christmas us. We still have that packed in upstairs, so that meant a lot. Thinking back on some of the things you talked about, I should have written them, and I thought, well, that's a little studious, isn't it, or laborious? But I probably will do that. It might not happen right this minute, but I'm thinking back. Gosh, don't we come from some pretty interesting places with our heritage and our upbringing and the messages we get from both parents and the world around us, and it's not always good. It's always something we can learn from, though. And I look at you as one of those people who has been yes, you've gone into your dark places, yes, you've struggled, but you have absolutely demonstrated intentionality throughout. And you talk about 14 years, and there are so many people that cannot wave that flag saying, I've been intentional, I might have gone down and back up, but man, I have risen again, and I have maintained the same focus and the same goal, and I'm going to do it. What's important to you, and that's you. You called it Stockholm Syndrome. Funny enough. Unrelated, but it was just that same term came up at work here. Here's my work right now. With a coworker of mine, we have this tracker that we're supposed to create. It's just an enormous beast of a monstrosity that only one person can be in at a time, and we're supposed to track everything in the tracker. So, but we all have to check with each other. Are you in the tracker? Because if one of us hops in when the other's in, it's all moot. Everything you just did, you just lost. So, and it's automated, and it's got coding, and all from Excel. So, as much as I like Excel, so down that rabbit trail. So to the point, she said, as frustrating as it is, I feel like I have Stockholm Syndrome because I've come to finally appreciate my captor. So I thought that was just an interesting time frame with your comment, but I still get in the tracker and want to just throw my monitor out the window, but that's not going to happen. But anyway, I agree with you. I can see where your Stockholm reference comes in, and at the same time, knowing Jim, not like you do, but from a friendship standpoint, I do feel like he wants it to work. I do feel like he wants it to work. I just feel like the chains around his ankles and the chains that inhibit his behavior are so heavy and so hard to crack off that it's just, it's 14 years is a long time, but the fact that he's still hanging in there, and I feel like from the things that you've said, he's still kind of feeding back to you signals and signs that he's absorbing some of the help and some of the direction for improvement. Is it at the pace that would be ideal? Not, but is it still happening? It kind of looks like it is. I mean, I'm not in your shoes, but I think it kind of sounds like it is. So kudos to that. We're always in the Wells corporate family success corner. We're always on your cheerleading squad for sure. I do appreciate your little healing room. I think that's a wonderful thing. I think everybody needs their space. We actually came out of our attic 3 weeks ago maybe, because it just got so stifling up there. And Maine is a funny beast. Today it was 90, and then the last week it's been in the 50s. So we were like super roller coaster. But being in the attic, there's not a lot of insulation. It's crazy hot, and so the air conditioner can't keep up. So we have found ourselves, we dismantled our dining room, and now Russ has set up camp in there with his office, and I am in the living room with my office. And I was over right there in front of the front door until a couple days ago, and I thought I've got to get out to my patio. So I encamped over here in this corner of the living room. All that to say, the new habits are good. I felt a bit of shelter down here. I felt like with the way that the past, I don't know, 4 months have gone, 5 months on our job, it's been brutal. It's been emotionally, physically, mentally so demanding. And yes, we were set up to work at home, so that was easy, but the job turmoil has been second to none. It's to the point I get off work, that's shift 1, I go to bed, dream about it, that's shift 2. I get up and I don't want to come back to my desk. I've had no courage to come back to my desk. So climbing the climb upstairs was just like PTSD. I didn't want to do it. So coming downstairs was a little bit of a shelter, and I've made a new coop for myself, and it feels good. So I guess I say that to acknowledge your healing room, because sometimes you just need that break. You need that little change of scenery and shelter, and feather that nest, pad your little space. And your paintings were great. The reminders. I've got my own little reminders about. I've got this little. It says grateful. I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, so there's just little things out and about that make me feel reminded about my attitude, and I let's see, is it Thursday? So Tuesday was a meeting, our weekly principal staff meeting, and I don't even know why they count me in on that, but I kind of lead my area, and it was brutal. It was I felt very, very bruised and discounted and devalued after that, and I wanted to throw in the towel, because I felt like all those, like I just got finished telling you, all the months of extra hours, both on the clock and off the clock during the night, and all the effort was not seen, not appreciated, not valued. And why other than to keep this team afloat and this job afloat and our jobs intact, why did I do it? Why did we do this? And I proceeded to spend the next 20 minutes just tapping away at my computer, just like a zombie, like just one foot in front of the other, just do it, just keep on going, keep on plugging. And I felt the sweet, sweet reminder of the Holy Spirit reminding me of the scripture that says, you know what, do your work as unto the Lord and not as unto men. And I'd have to look that passage up, but it was as clear as a bell. And I found myself really aware of the fact that he was aware. In all my quiet thoughts, he actually perceived those thoughts and answered with some hope and with an anchor that I could grab onto and say, you know what, you just heard me. Okay, you provided this job in the first place. Who am I to think if it goes away, or if they're not happy, or if I'm misperceived, or whatever? And you know injustice is on your job. You've felt that over the years, where people sell you short, or they gang up, or they misperceive, whatever. You're giving it your all. You're bringing your A game. I just thought, God's my defender. He is my provider, my defender. He sees front to back, beginning to end. He'll provide. He'll take care of it. So since then, has it been a struggle? Yeah, it's a deliberate choice, hour to hour sometimes, depending on who I'm talking to work-wise, to just say, you know what, I am doing this because God gave me this job. I'm going to do the absolute best that I can do, because I've got to lay my head down and I know I did my best, and he's going to take care of the rest. And I feel like that's where you're at in your marriage. You're gonna not get a wink of sleep unless Crystal did Crystal's best at her job, at her marriage, at raising her children. You exemplify that with all of your intentionality, and even in your retreats, whether it be from social media or from whatever. I mean, cut your hair. Ooh, have I thought about that? You do things that you're processing at the moment. That's okay. It's all good. Dang, isn't life fluid? And doesn't hair grow back? It's all good. But you always know what your goal is, and you don't retreat. And so that's what I take from. That's one of the things I take from all the things that you said. You do it with. How do I say it? Tenacity, with passion, even though I know you feel very fragile at times and very bruised in your soul and sometimes your body, you know, you still bring your A game, and you bring your passion, and you bring the long view. You play the long game, and that's huge. That's what matters. That's where games are won and lost, in that long game. So I really applaud you, and I admire you. I take notes from you, and you were very much in my life by design. So I cannot thank you enough for being there, for being brave enough to come in my home when you felt nervous to do that, or you know, you took risks to participate. You took risks knowing that there was going to be tension and a price to pay, but you took the risk, and I'm richer for it. And just again, hearing from you, see the dimple, it makes me happy. So please, you know, stay in touch. Marco Polo me. Please. Don't have to Facebook. I get it. Facebook is uber depressing right at the moment. It's a tough spot for all of us. I don't even know why I've almost retracted myself from there too. Can't even take it. But I just know that, you know, this is one of the tools that for whatever reason God's allowed us to connect on, and you know, not just you and me, but you and your family, me and my family, me and my friend, all of our friends, as crazy as we all are, you know, just grin and bear it. And I love your books, your chronicles of books, year by year, your Shutterfly books. Wow, that's awesome. I was thinking about all my pictures in totes up in the attic still, and I've thought to myself through all this COVID crap, like, what if this is, like, scripturally, I think, what if this is the end, and what if it isn't? I mean, I'm hitting double nickels this year. I'm going to be 55, so all those pictures in totes that I thought all these years, I'll have time to get to them all. I could see myself being an old lady, just sitting out on a table, all my stuff. For what? Do I want to look at them now? Do my kids want to put them in books? Probably not. They might look through them and then, who knows? I don't know. I'm not saying that to discourage you, because I know you're a keeper and a memory saver, but I was convicted about it. I thought maybe I should not always count on tomorrow. I definitely should live my life today the way I want to live it, because I don't get today back. I get today once. I don't get today tomorrow. You know, like, we get a certain number of days. We better meet them out and live them like we want to remember them. So that's I wake up every day going, oh, tomorrow. Anyway, I relate, and so I hope I can be as intentional as my friend Crystal in terms of getting things chronicled and in a place where my kids want to see them and deal with them, and I don't feel like a burden on them with all my stuff. I know you saw me wade through my parents' things when they passed, and it took a while, but that's human nature too. We can all relate to that. But anyway, I do hope that you're healthy and well, and you look great. I didn't even notice your hair was like short because it was pulled back. I actually took mine down, because if mine's pulled back on video, I look like a troll. It's pretty scary. So I have not. 2020 has not been kind to me in terms of my appearance, but we were out walking, trying to get around our little block, walking around and seeing the neighborhood, and it's quite the beautiful sight. So if you're ever in the neighborhood, you know you have a place. Anyway, I do love you with all my heart. I miss you, and please stay in touch more often. It doesn't have to be Facebook. Oh, this is all good. I got my selfie stick. Anyway, tell your sweet family hello. We love you guys. We miss you, and can't wait to hear from you next. Bye.
Hey, look at that. I understand why you were using the selfie stick now. Because when you said it, I'm like, yeah, I understand. Selfie sticks, those are nice, right? But then I'm like, I'm sure she looks fine. And then I get down here like this, and I'm all double chin, triple chin. Oh my gosh. So then I go, that's better. I love my bicycle. Anyway, I just wanted to share something with you. This is not going to be as long, promise. You were talking on your video about using words to articulate and describe and all that stuff. And if you ever feel like your Marco Polo has to be perfect, please don't stop and restart it. My Marco Polos are never perfect. That's what makes them personal and personable. Like, it feels like real. Like, it feels like you're just being yourself. So mess up. It's totally fine to mess up. Don't restart and all that stuff. It doesn't need to be perfect. You're not on camera for the whole world to see. It's just me, right? What I was going to share with you is something that I wrote this morning. Somebody had a question. So you're going to see a few videos right now, because I can't repeat how I said it exactly. And I really like the way I wrote it. So I was just going to share with you what I wrote, because I think it's beautiful. And I also like the way that you described my intentionality and how my intentionality is has always like come back full circle. As even when I was facing a possibility of leaving Jim and divorce before moving into this room, I had to get real with myself, and I'm like, what do I want? I know my therapist is recommending me to leave. All my family thinks that I should leave. Not all of them, but you know, like the ones that know what's going on. But I do have a space in my heart to give him grace and forgiveness and patience, even if patience is worn thin sometimes. So anyway, I think the piece that I wrote this morning kind of puts it into full circle on what I'm all about. And I just really like being able to share this part of me with you. So thank you. And I love it when you can share a part of you with me. And yeah, I hope we get to talk more often, but only if you want. It should never be a stressful thing. It should never feel like a chore. So I'm going to share this with you right now. All right. See, I messed up. I'll be right back. Okay, so this question came up in a group that I'm in on Facebook, and that's pretty much all I'm using Facebook for these days, is like for support groups. And this one's a thought-provoking question. It says, what is so pressing to end conflict instead of sitting in the pocket of the disagreement? Isn't this an interesting question? What is so pressing about wanting to end conflict instead of sitting in the pocket of the disagreement? And I don't think people in the group understood the question, because they were talking about that it's important to end the conflict and do whatever it takes to end the conflict, and don't let the disagreement bother you, and don't let the disagreement ruin your day type of thing. Like, do whatever it takes to avoid conflict. And I don't really agree with that. I understand why people would say that, but on another level, I see the disagreement sitting in the pocket of the disagreement. I love the way that's worded. Let me explain my thought. All right, this is what I wrote. I said, when there is a disagreement, most people want to end the conflict, squish opposing opinions, convince the enemy, however you want to say it. Most people are always in a hurry to end a conflict by either attacking it or they run away and avoid it somehow, fight or flee. But I like how you put that. Sit in the pocket of the disagreement. It doesn't sound like freeze or fight or flee. It sounds more like pause. Let's thaw. It sounds like sitting with it is allowing something time to breathe, like allowing something to marinate, like an opportunity to take new form. It sounds like sitting on a decision and be open to discover a new perspective. Maybe instead of anyone getting their way, sitting in the pocket of a disagreement can allow for a new way to be born. Necessity is the mother of invention, right? And if there is a need for harmony, sitting with a disagreement allows for a solution to be created, to be born, to be invented. When two opposing sides refuse to let it sit, no one gets what they need. The mother, necessity, does not get to enjoy her baby, invention. So to say there's nothing wrong with pushing to end a conflict, I challenge you next time, instead of ending it, don't abort a new way from forming. A solution is in gestation in the minds of both that are in the conflict. It just needs time. So try sitting with it. Those are my thoughts anyway. And then out of all the people in the group, only one person liked it. And then she said, "Great thoughts, Crystal." And then I'm all, thanks. I don't know. I guess that's kind of where my marriage has been, is what do I gain by leaving? What do I gain by staying? What do I gain by pushing my views on Jim and Jim pushing his views on me? Rather than doing any pushing to end conflicts or pushing to make the other person agree with each other, I allow him to have his opinion and I'm allowed to have mine, and then we just sit with it. Whether we're sitting in another room or sitting next to each other or sitting in silence, at some point, I wouldn't say someone's going to compromise or cave or whatever. There could be another solution that's born that makes both parties satisfied. That makes both parties say, hey, you know what? I think I can live with Crystal living in her own room and having her own space. I think I could live with that, because that seems like a lot more doable than what we were doing, and a lot more doable than her leaving. And then that's when I was like, yeah, that's a new idea. There's a lot of examples of that, right? lot of examples of where a compromise is not so much of a compromise, but as a third option. It's not black, it's not white, it's gray. It's somewhere in the middle. I don't know. Sometimes I think I'm pretty smart, but sometimes I think I'm pretty out there. So I think I'm pretty out there today. That's what it feels like anyway. Anyways, love you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.